What is up, guys? Dashing here for episode 417 of Community Universe Mode and edition number 110 of Fusion, the fallout, of course, of Validation. You're going to have to work with me because my voice is still pretty shot despite the nice day off there. Should have drank more tea. But we are back at it again on the afternoon for Monday Night Fusion. Of course, like I said, off the heels of Validation, which was a simply amazing to finish, so amazing that my voice got completely shot, and we are now right back on the road to Sacrifice, the next Fusion exclusive pay-per-view, which is not this Sunday, but the Sunday after that. And already some huge matches made official. Of course, we know after Hayden retained his title this past Sunday against Bison, we now know that he'll be defending next at Sacrifice in the main event against the 5th annual King of the Ring winner getting his prize, Andrew Briggs. That'll be a first-time matchup. I'm especially looking forward to that. Perhaps what I'm looking forward to even more than that is the colossal bombshell dropped by general manager Johnny Sampson halfway through Validation that Schmitty, guys, has been found, and he will be returning, making his return match at Sacrifice against none other than the man on your screen right now to the left, Damien, the unbeaten 16-0 Gargoyle of Destruction. And if that wasn't enough, that match will take place inside of the dreaded, devilish, hellish nightmare known as Hell in a Cell. And Damien getting a little bit of prep work for himself, as our first matchup of the evening is going to actually be a rematch from this past Sunday, where Damien got to 16-0 by obliterating Shanaz Andoni in a minute, guys. 1 minute. And a lot of people, including myself, thought that Shanaz would actually be Damien's biggest challenge today. Maybe would even be the man to finally defeat him. But no, it actually ended up being one of Damien's quickest matches. I guess Shanaz really got under Damien's skin when the real number one Bubba jumped him last week. Hey, what up, Topher Vic? Oh, and our first tweet of the evening, guys, comes from Josh Wolf, who says, like I have said before, Fusion is rotten to the core and the cancer click is spreading. I'll be the chemotherapy. Josh Wolf, of course, making an appearance this past Sunday at Validation after the Team King versus Team Divine match, and obviously had his sights set on the perfect specimen. Josh Wolf declaring that in his suspension from Genesis, he'd be coming to Fusion to try and cleanse it, like he just said in that tweet. Says that it's rotten to the core and that he wouldn't allow Click to spread over here as it has everywhere else in CMV, but obviously he was too late, as Travis King would announce that he has been chosen as the Fusion representative for Click. Slate and Randy Borton then attacking Josh Wolf. Travis King laying him out in the ring with a checkmate. A new battle beginning in the war that rages on throughout CMB. Click and the Resistance. Hey, what up, Hell? Of course, Travis King will be in action tonight. Finally getting one up over Divine when his team defeated, Paul's team at Validation, but he takes on Miles Kelly in tonight's co-main event. Of course, the ultimate sacrifice match, guys, taking place next Sunday at Sacrifice. And general manager Johnny Sampson here on the show, quieted down everybody's questions. A lot of people, there he is. A lot of people have been wondering exactly what the hell the ultimate sacrifice match is. Well, Johnny Sampson finally answered all of our burning questions. Touch on that a little bit later on. Andoni getting a shot at redemption here at the top of Fusion number 110 after being embarrassed by Damien at Validation. Of course, our main event tonight, guys, going to be one to see as the stars of the A-Show, as people have been calling them. Hayden, still world champion, and Jacob Ziegler, who have been at each other's throats since Hayden returned, going to be forced to work together on the orders of general manager Johnny Sampson. And thanks to a poll on the website, they've been voted to take on the tag team champions, the Anarchists, for the titles. The Anarchists, just winning the championships last week from Dance Party, already have to put them on the line against two huge... I just noticed the pool floaties there on the ramp. The Anarchists definitely with a chance to prove themselves big time tonight, but even though Hayden and Ziegler aren't exactly the chummiest, aren't exactly pals, the Anarchists going to have the advantage in that way, that, they're a cohesive unit. Still, wouldn't underestimate Hayden and Ziegler. All right, here we go. Damien looks to go to 17-0, while Shanaz Andoni has a chance to redeem himself after what happened at Validation. But look at this. The Gargoyle of Destruction take control right out of the gate with a Uranagi side slam. Damien faces the biggest matchup of his career at Sacrifice. He's been handpicked by general manager Johnny Sampson to dish out his justice against the returning Schmitty. And actually, guys, a little bit later on in the show, I had a sit-down with Schmitty. Schmitty said that he wasn't exactly comfortable returning to the CM Universe until Sacrifice just yet. Doesn't want anybody to see him. Doesn't want to come out here and talk. But he did give me an exclusive sit-down interview yesterday, and I'll be sharing the results of that interview a little bit later on in the show. But Damien looking to remain unbeaten. Shanaz already getting in a whole lot more offense. He literally didn't get one hit in. Didn't even get a smirk off of Damien's direction. At Validation, now he's all over the big man. Nice elbow drop off the second turnbuckle. I'm sure Damien will feel right at home inside of Hell in a Cell. Schmitty does have experience in Hell in a Cell, remember, though. Last year's Purgatory, he defeated Brody Sampson in the structure, but to be locked inside of a enclosed structure with someone like Damien, I do not envy Schmitty as the big man holds his boot to Shanaz's gut right now. Irish whip now rebounds the show and a headbutt right to the chest. Who are you talking about? Topher. Oh, nice reverse there by Shanaz, holding his own. I think this is what most people expected from the Punjabi Playboy at Validation. Not what we got. Headbutt off the top turnbuckle and again and again and again and again. Getting well acquainted with that top turnbuckle. Oh, and guys, here we have a tweet from John Reed that says, another Crow reign coming short. Sure, he may win titles, but he chokes when he has to defend them. As look at that's a sight to see right there. Damien, I don't know, praying, would you call that? As Shanaz looks for refuge in the corner. Yo, what up, Assassin? Haven't seen you in a while, my friend. Look at that. Damien goes for a choke slam, but countered by Andoni. Now Shanaz shoots in, looking for something big, but the Gargoyle of Destruction gonna take it right back from him. All the way up and back down again. Counter, though, at the last millisecond. What a reversal by Shanaz. The two-time World Tag Team Champion, two-time Light Heavyweight Champion, former Fusion Tag Team Champion, and two-time Anarchy Champion with a big-time knee strike to the big man. Will he be the first to defeat him? No, just a 2 count. Hey, what up, Ogon? Yeah, like I said, I think this is the Shanaz that everybody was expecting and wanting to see at Validation. I don't know. I think Damien was just in a foul mood that night and took it out on it. Oh, my God. The big man getting tied up. That real number one, Baba, send the boot up the old pooper. Playing games with Damien. I don't know if that's smart. Might just piss Damien off. We know what happened the last time Shanaz pissed Damien off. And now a little bit of a worm. We didn't get the actual worm itself, though. Hooks that tree trunk of a leg. One of Damien's legs, probably about the same size as Shanaz's whole body. Now Andoni looks to work a shoulder claw. 16-0. is the massive behemoth Damien, who rakes the eyes of Shanaz. A little bit of dirty heel tactics right there. One of the most dominant tears in CMV history, and it's not just the fact that he's 16-0 either. It's the fact that most of his matches haven't gone past 5 minutes. I'm getting word that we just hit the 4-minute mark here. Let's see if Shanaz can survive and possibly even the first man to defeat Damien. Just got psyched out. About to say, Damien gonna do a super kick? Nah. Just playing those mind games as he once again presses that big boot, trying to collapse Shanaz's lungs. Donnie now on one knee. Nice action roll by Shanaz to get out of the way. Damien gonna grab him by the hair on his head. Snapmare by the Gargoyle of Destruction. Damien obviously got to be feeling real good about himself. Very confident here in this matchup after how he handled Shanaz at Validation. But as we've seen so far here, Damien would do well not to underestimate the CMV veteran. Right now just staring at him, almost like he's got the cogs are turning in his mind. Just standing there, maybe playing possum. Wanted to get Shanaz in a certain position, able to reverse that scoop slam. And now a second time. Well, the last time it got reversed. Let's see if he can actually get it this time. No, reversed again by Andoni. Oh my God, is Shanaz actually going to do it, guys? He's jerking that knee, and Damien's in big trouble. He got it off. Oh my God. That might be a rope break, though. No rope break. Shanaz has the leg hooked. I don't think that I've ever been left so speechless before. 16-1. Damien has been pinned by Shanaz Andoni. I don't think anybody expected this. After what Damien did to Shanaz at Validation, we all underestimated him, and Damien did too. Shanaz has just beaten the unbeatable Damien, and Damien didn't stick around. He immediately left, didn't look back, just made a beeline straight for the locker rooms. He is not happy, and this is actually gonna come up again later on tonight. Remember, I had that sit-down interview with Shanaz with Schmitty. And I can actually give you a quote from him right now. He said, Damien is just a man. He can be beaten. And we just saw that. Damien pinned and defeated by Shanaz Andoni. 16-1. I was legitimately shocked. Wow. Shanaz did it. You think that's what Shanaz did? Put metal plates on the shins? Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I am still amazed. One of the most dominant streaks in CMV history comes here on Fusion number 110. Holy crap. Hey, but still 16-1. I'm sure Schmitty is watching from wherever he is, you know, with a little bit of a smile on his face, but 16-1 is still nothing to turn your head at. Damien looked pissed, though. He was outie real quick. He wasn't sticking around. I'm surprised he didn't attack Shanaz, to be honest. I would have expected that, because he's attacked a bunch of his other opponents in the past after beating them. Wow, what a way to start Fusion number 110, guys. We've still got a lot to get to. As up next, the United States champion Harvey Hastings, flanked by his bodyguard, of course, Mason Ross, battles Paul Devine. And of course, I talked about before that last match, the Ultimate Sacrifice bout. That will be taking place not this Sunday, next Sunday at the Fusion exclusive pay-per-view. Sacrifice and questions have been, getting barraged ever since the match was announced some weeks ago. And Johnny Sampson finally giving us the answers here tonight about what the match entails, exactly what is it. Johnny Sampson coming out here announcing that the Ultimate Sacrifice match will pit 4 superstars inside of a 16-foot black steel cage. Inescapable. There will be no escaping. And the 4 superstars who entered will have to put something on the line. They will have to sacrifice something. And those 4 superstars have been announced. We already knew that Harvey Hastings will be in the match, sacrificing his United States Championship. But Johnny Sampson announces that joining Hastings would be Azrael, sacrificing his hair. We all know Azrael cares so much about the way he looks, his beauty, his movie star status, if you will. Sacrificing his hair. Miles Kelly, the legit gentleman, entering the match, guys, putting on the line definitely the biggest sacrifice of all 4 men, his CMV career, guys. Miles Kelly putting on the line his CMV career. And last but not least, the 4th and final man wouldn't be none other than this guy right here, Paul Devine, guys, who sacrificed his Fusion contract, which means that if Devine does not win the Ultimate Sacrifice match for the rest of his career in CMV, he will never, ever, under any circumstances, be allowed to appear on Fusion ever again. And Fusion's been his home. He's never been a Genesis superstar. Since his first day in CMV, he's been a Fusion guy. And of course, what are all these guys sacrificing? Why are they putting all this forward? Well, the winner of the Ultimate Sacrifice match does not only, obviously, keep whatever they sacrificed, but they also will get a future World Championship opportunity at the following Fusion exclusive pay-per-view, Dark Carnival. The penultimate goal for every superstar in CMV. The winner of Ultimate Sacrifice will get a world title match. But only one man will leave Sacrifice next Sunday with their careers intact. 3 other men's lives will be changed forever. A career could end. A Fusion career could end. Batman's banned? And of course, here comes Harvey Hastings, hiding behind his monster of a bodyguard at Mason Ross. Harvey looks so pleased with himself. Of course, he was the surviving member alongside Chris Diamond of the Team King versus Team Divine match this past Sunday. He actually tapped out Paul Devine to finish the match. Devine was the last standing member of his team. Now Devine gets a chance at payback, and of course, both these men inside of Ultimate Sacrifice next Sunday. Oh, did you unban him or just keep him banned? There he stands once again. I don't know why, after everything that Devine has done in his career, but somehow I am still shocked that Devine is even here standing and competing, guys. I got the medical report. He is suffering a plethora of injuries, from bruised ribs to a minor concussion to a dislocated shoulder he suffered. He got the bejesus kicked out of him this past Sunday at Validation. Remember, in the end, it was him versus 3 members of Team King. He ended up being able to eliminate Matt Devious before falling to Harvey Hastings. So once again, Devine defying all odds to be here. Battling, he's the new Oliver Smith, battling through 20 injuries. And we know that Paul Devine, all that's on his mind is that undisputed championship. He's a 3-time champion. He wants to become champion again. That's why he's willing to sacrifice his Fusion career just for a chance at once again being world champion. Referee rings that bell, and here we go. Of course, Harvey Hastings, like I said, will be sacrificing, and it's not even my choice. A poll on the website asked the CM Universe who they'd like to see in the Ultimate Sacrifice match put their title on the line. It was between the U.S. title or the light heavyweight title, and the fans via a landslide voted for Harvey Hastings. So it's not even that he himself sacrificed the U.S. title. The fans did it for him, but I'm sure Harvey is willing to put that title on the line for a shot at the big time, the undisputed championship. Ooh, nice pullback attack right there by Devine early on. Devine would love to get the win here. You know, he was riding high last month. He got 3 main event wins, I do believe. Did the Asian sensation. Oh, nice clothesline right there. Goes for a drop kick while Harvey Hastings able to run away just in time. Paul Devine most definitely got to be weary of Mason Ross there ringside. The man dangerous on his own when in the ring, but he's been known to distract opponents, allow Harvey Hastings to steal victories. Oh, nice little senton. Up next, guys, of course, a matchup I'm actually pretty looking forward to a lot. The ATL, unbeaten. Gonna face, ooh, sharp super kick right there. Devine with the veteran instinct, though, to roll to the apron. As I was saying, guys, the unbeaten ATL faced their biggest challenge yet when they battle former Fusion Tag Team Champions and Blood and Stone, as Devine is ducked to the outside. Of course, Blood and Stone are coming off a loss at Validation to Bannon and Billy Weaver. They're going to hope to bounce back as well. Take out Malcolm Fry and Deshaun Porter. The ATL have been promised a future shot at the Fusion Tag Team titles after they win over Logan Hale and Miles Kelly last week. We got to wait to see who exactly they'll be facing. Our main event tonight, of course, going to be Hayden and Jacob Ziegler challenging the Anarchists for the Fusion Tag Team titles. Right now, we're at a count of 2, 3 now as Harvey Hastings takes Devine overhead. Count of 5 now as Harvey Hastings is brought up to his feet. 6, and a snap over the arm. Devine going to make sure that this bout does not go to a count out. 8 saves himself. Harvey Hastings pulling himself up to his feet there. Caught with an arm drag out on the apron. He goes, and a crack to the jaw. Oh, that a Hangman's DDT. You, mamma mia. Papa John, that looks stiff. Topher was a mod. I don't know why I modded you. I think you irritated me one time. I should mod you again, though, and I probably will. After this stream. Actually, I think I can do it right now. I'll do it after this match. And then you can unban Batman. Mason Ross, look at that. Like I said, there we go. Mason Ross calling a distraction. Devine falling for it. And now Hastings like it ain't no thing but a chicken wang. Up on that top rope, feeling very good about himself by the time he wasted. Devine gets back up to his feet. Now guillotine on that top rope. Up to the second turnbuckle. Now goes the 3-time world champion, one of the most decorated superstars in CMV history, a 4-time tag team champion and Anarchy champion. Going for a long road home fisherman's driver right there. And now RVD, or rather RV Hastings. RVD standing for ravishing vehicular driver. I would say Harvey Hastings is a handsome driver. Look at that, inverted atomic drop. And then a scoop slam, the United States champion. Doing well for himself right now. Ducks the clothesline, but gets floored with one. Now brought to a vertical base, face to face. The man who puts the rising sun gets that scoop slam countered. Punch to the back of the head. Ducks it, and a headshot. Gonna put Devine right on his rear end. He's in La La Land. Or you know what I think it was? It wasn't even that you irritated me. I think Alvius kept pestering me to lower my mods because he thought I had too many. So I think I ended up cutting you out because he was annoying me a whole lot. Harvey Hastings can't believe that wasn't enough. Goes for a scoop slam now. Devine given a lot of time to recover, though. Now a kick to the midsection and a corkscrew neck breaker. Going to take Harvey Hastings out. Into the pin he goes. One. Just a 1 count. Now Harvey Hastings battles back to his feet. Kick to the midsection. Oh, Double H taking a maneuver out of Divine's playbook with that little sunset flip power bomb. Now Hastings has 2 ways to finish off Divine, and it looks like he's going to the top rope. Perfect position. Vintage Double H with the Blitzkrieg. Into the pin to eliminate Divine once again. 1, 2. Just a 2 count. Not eliminate, but rather defeat. Not enough, though. Divine, one of the most resilient men, if not the most resilient in CMV history. And there's a catchphrase. Goes for a calf kick. Able to step out of the way, though. Ooh, what an overhand punch. Going to crack him right on the noggin. Misses that enziguri pretty horribly. Now he's going to pay for it. Looks like a cross-legged fisherman buster. And Divine done playing games. You see Mason Ross not looking too happy because he knows that the end may be nigh. Mason Ross trying to rally the fans behind Harvey. That's not going to happen. Divine intervention. Hooks the leg. Uno. Goes. Oh! Harvey Hastings showing some resiliency. Divine immediately right back on the attack, though. Brings Harvey to his feet. Snapmare looks for a punch to the side of the head. Hastings, though, reverses. Goes for a single leg drop kick. Divine moves out of the way. Now the assassin going to pay a cross-legged fisherman buster once again. Drops down to 1. Even Divine has his limits, especially with all the injuries he's suffering right now. I don't even know who all my mods are right now. There's Echo is my oldest. Echo. Gumball, Hellish. Alvius and Soul are my current mods. Knee down on the top of the head. Divine now trying to retake control. Lost in the woods as Harvey Hastings as he eats some defeat. And there's Hastings with some nice wherewithal to roll to the outside of the ring. Tim's not a mod anymore. Look at that. Referee Murphy not allowing Divine to go and collect Harvey. And that's going to help out Hastings. Northern Light suplex with a bridge, but that's a rope break to call. This was the second matchup. Up next, the ATL battles Blood and Stone as a second headshot is pulled off by the United States champion, who now hooks the leg. 1, 2. You know, these next 2 weeks could be the last times that we ever see Paul Divine on Monday Night Fusion if he doesn't win the Ultimate Sacrifice match. Ooh, nice standing shooting star. You know, Miles Kelly, like I said when I was talking about the... Oh, Harvey! This is what he utilized to actually submit Divine at Validation and eliminate him. And the tag team match. And the Count of Ice cinched in deep. Can Divine escape or will he succumb once again? Divine taps! Holy shit! Harvey Hastings once again defeats the Asian sensation. Oh. There we go. Harvey not getting any music. The sound guy really messing up here. But guys, Harvey Hastings with a huge win and defeating the living legend Paul Divine one-on-one clean, forcing him to tap out again. Who'd you have blocked, Vic? Wow, what a matchup. Phenomenal back and forth bout, but Harvey, there were a couple of distractions by Mason Ross, so not 100% clean. Oh, there's the music. Harvey Hastings heading into Ultimate Sacrifice, putting his title on the line for a shot at the World Championship. And a tweet, guys, from Harvey Hastings says, still not worthy. All right, sorry about that. Getting a quick drink of water before we jump back into the action here on Monday Night Fusion number 110. Already a huge night of upsets. And at the top of the show, Shanaz Antoni becoming the one behind 16-1, defeating Damien. And then we just saw Harvey Hastings put down Paul Devine. Now up next, and still a lot to get to here on tonight's show, including in the co-main event, Travis King going one-on-one with Miles Kelly. This could be Miles Kelly's last couple of weeks in CMV as a whole. He put his whole CMV career on the line. And then in the main event, the tag team titles up for grabs as the, well, what people have been calling them, stars of the A show, Hayden, world champ, and Jacob Ziegler, Mr. Money in the Bank, team together to challenge the Anarchists for their just newly won titles. Topher, where'd you go? Topher, my love. The Rumble is this Sunday, Ogon. The actual Royal Rumble. That's this Sunday, the 28th. So is the Super Bowl. And I think Cop is streaming Infiltration then, too. So you got the Super Bowl, Infiltration, and the Royal Rumble all on one day. That's going to be a packed Sunday. Hey, what up, Chrissy? So here we go, guys. Tag team action. Taken to our screens. Super Bowl's in February? I was lied to then. My face was lied to directly. Rifted saving of the day, though. So I guess that's... Oh, right. Wait. What? Oh, wow. So the Super Bowl is going to fall on the same day as Sacrifice, actually. Rip. So this Sunday is Infiltration in the Royal Rumble. Next Sunday is the Super Bowl and Sacrifice. Yeah, there you go, Topher. So if you can unban Batman if he's still... I don't think he's actually banned. Here we go, guys. The unbeaten ATL, Malcolm Fry, and Deshaun Porter in the ring as their biggest challenge to date. Blood and Stone. Rise and Bloody Justice, the former Fusion Tag Team Champions. These two men, of course, coming off of a loss to Bannon and Billy Weaver on the Validation pre-show. Going to look to bounce back by Barry and some young talent. We've already had one streak come to an end tonight. Will the ATLs be right up alongside Damien's? Going to be Malcolm Fry starting things off against Rise. And in the ATL's victory over Logan Hale and Miles Kelly last week, they had been promised a future tag team title opportunity by general manager Johnny Sampson. They'll challenge Whichever team walks out victorious later on tonight in our main event, either Hayden and Jacob Ziegler, if they can work together, or the Anarchists, they retain their titles. That match will happen at Sacrifice. The ATL will challenge whomever the tag team champions will be. Hayden and Ziegler or the Anarchists. Rise with the European uppercut. Of course, Blood and Stone can severely chop down the ATL's momentum heading into that title match here. Tag in, and here comes Bloody Justice. Early tag. CMV veteran looks for a hook to the jaw, but gets a forearm smash instead. Ooh, and a stiff kick to the shoulder. And then, of course, as soon as I mod Topher, Gumbel arrives. So the whole point of modding Topher is kind of moot. But whatever, Topher can remain. I'm just going to mod everybody eventually. Albius is taking his month off. You know, he's not here to yell at me. Everybody's mod for a month. And a tag to the Sean Porter. Now Bloody Justice shoots him at a big old hook to the jaw is what greets him. And then a Russian leg sweep. Ooh, and choking out the Sean Porter is Bloody Justice. Blood and Stone, after being on such a tear as tag team champions, remember they won them the night after Battle Scars, and they held them until Requiem this season. The entire time they were champions, they were unbeaten. Now these past couple of weeks, they can't seem to get back on track. Loss after loss after loss, starting to get under their skin. As Rise desperately wants a tag here to Sean Porter, thinking about taking a risk. Rebounds off the ropes. Watch out, Malcolm. Jeez Louise. Oh, just running his cardio, making sure it's in check. Big. I'll give Blood and Stone the Hardy's entrance. All right. Next fusion, they'll have it. I promise, J-Rod. I promise my soul. Pinky swear. Sean Porter now with an Irish whip. Bloody Justice gonna take a trip to the corner. Deshaun closing in. What's he cooking up here? Nothing sweet for BJ. O'Connor onto a big old German and a beautiful bridge to boot, tippy toes and all, but just a 1 count. Raw to a vertical base, Irish whip. Watch out, Murphy, of course, taking his obligatory bump for the night, but it looks like ATL, the ref's down though, trying to finish off this matchup. Murphy recuperating just in time, and Zaguri high knee and Malcolm Fry with that picture-perfect textbook Northern Lights suplex. No bridge though, okay, just a regular pin, I guess. Not feeling the bridge. 1, 2, don't. Oof. Close call there. I guess Rise had confidence and Justice to be able to kick out on his own. ATL currently sitting at 6-0 in their CMV careers. As Bloody Justice with a wise tag to Rise right there. Malcolm Fry slides back into the ring, hops off after hopping off the apron. Stiff kick to the back and it sends shooting pains up and down the spine there of the former military man. Right to the jaw, and Malcolm Fry with a hero slam. You know, the ATL most definitely, whether it is Hayden or Jacob Ziegler, or if it's the Anarchists who walk out as champions, they're going to be tested at Sacrifice. I'd say the bigger test would obviously be Hayden and Ziegler, not taking anything away from the Anarchists. Of course, they won the titles last week by defeating Dance Party. Punch the chest. That's going to make it hard for Malcolm Fry to breathe, as now he's put high up into the air with that military press, then dropped down into a wicked power slam that shakes the entire ring. Wasting no time. Oh boy, we have not seen this in a while. Oh, I thought we were going to see the ritual. Instead, Rise looking to make sure that Malcolm Fry ain't 100%. Come Sacrifice with a superplex all the way to the outside of the ring. Bloody Justice just walking in place on the apron. Oh, another round of This Is Awesome chants. The fans loving this matchup. Malcolm Fry somehow back to a vertical base, standing on his own 2 feet. after taking a good 10-foot drop there from the top rope to the outside of the ring, where those pads offer little to no support from the concrete that lies beneath. Could have suffered a broken back there. Currently at a count of 6, 7 now, and perhaps the ATL are going to take a cheap win. Or maybe not. What's Malcolm Fry doing? Oh boy, we're in dangerous territory right now. 8! Oh my God, do not tell me the ATL gonna take their first loss via count out. 10! Blood and Stone. Blood and Stone defeat the ATL via count out. 6-1 nefarious means. Malcolm Fry and Deshaun Porter suffered their first loss. Still not pinned or submitted, but heading into Sacrifice, where they'll challenge for the Fusion Tag Team titles. They technically are no longer unbeaten. Now the question is, who will they meet at Sacrifice? Will Hayden and Ziggler work together long enough to win Tag Team Gold? Or will the Anarchists retain against the odds? As Blood and Stone get back on track. Whoa, it's a legit way to win. All right, guys. The action continues here on Monday Night Fusion number 110, and indeed is the night of upsets so far. Damien suffering his first loss. Harvey Hastings defeating Paul Devine. The ATL taking their first L, but here we go. Up next, the Beast, Bison, returns to Monday Night Fusion, and I don't think his return to CMV was what most expected this past Sunday at Validation. Of course, after 3 months off, he came back to challenge Hayden for the world title. Bison, dare I say, had most of the control over Hayden for the majority of the bout, but as soon as Kitely found an opening, he hooked in that Hollywood hold, and the Beast was tamed, forced to tap out. Bison once again coming so close to winning the big one, but then falling all the way back down. Now Bison just looks to get back on track, work his way back up the ladder, try to get his hands on Hayden again. Of course, via a poll on the website these past couple of days posted, asked who you would like to see Bison face in next week's main event, guys, and Andrew Briggs was voted in. So we know next week's main event will be Andrew Briggs versus Bison. Most people haven't talked about, oh, rip Andrew Briggs, but Bison and Andrew Briggs have fought twice before, and both of those times, Briggs was victorious. However, I think this is a meaner Bison than we've ever seen before. The OG monster of CMV certainly has to be even more pissed after what happened at Validation, being forced to tap out for only the third time ever in his career. Twice by Hayden, once by Cyborg. But there he is. The Beast, the monster, the OG behemoth. Zach Smith, of course, in the ring as his opponent for the night. And I do not envy Smith. He got the short end of the straw. Yeah, actually, as soon as I said that, I realized I got it wrong because it was actually Bison who tapped out Cyborg. So Bison has actually only ever tapped twice in his career, and both of those times were by Hayden. But Bison can't focus on that. He's back in CMV and looks to make this the most memorable run of his career. He had the chance at validation once again. He just missed breaking that glass ceiling. But the Beast has returned to reclaim his land as he goes right at Smith. Zach Smith, of course, who made his CMV just a couple of months ago, so far has been unable to grab himself a victory. Gonna get caught with what looks like a, sit-out boardbuster is Bison. Rolls to the outside. Does Bison early on to recuperate. Referee Murphy keeping Smith from exiting the ring and going out to collect his opponent. Now a countered Irish whip. Smith. This could be a big victory. Bison, a former two-time international champion and tag team champion. Beautiful sunset flip roll right there. No pin attempt, though. Bison deflecting now, taken down with a stiff DDT right there. Up next, guys, before we get to our next matchup, as I talked about earlier tonight, I'm going to share with you the results of that sit-down interview that I had with Schmitty yesterday. Like I said, Schmitty not wanting to show himself until Sacrifice next Sunday, where he makes his return inside of Hell in a Cell against Damien, but he did allow me to ask him a couple of questions yesterday, and I will share with you what was said up next. As Bison's going to take Zach Smith overhead, now up against the ropes, and Bison with a knee right to the ribs. Might have cracked every single one of them. Maybe it'll actually come to fruition this season, Crizzy. It didn't have validation, but I have faith, man. I have faith that one day Bison will finally win the big one and be world champion. He deserves it. Up onto the shoulders now goes Zach Smith. Going to take a little bit of a ride. And not a fun one. Fucking snake eyes on that top turnbuckle. Then a stiff kick to the chest. Oh, vintage Bison! I don't even remember what he used to call that, though. The Fireman's Carry takeover. Now wasting no time is Bison. Vintage Bison. Iron Maiden locked in. Iron Maiden. Oh, Smith escapes, though. Zach Smith, wow. Crizzy, that big Bison fan, to remember matter of time. Holy camole. Big shout to Crizzy right there, never forgetting. And the Iron Maiden too, but Smith finding a way to escape before his back was broken. Now a little cheeky leg drop from the top rope. Grabbing Bison by the horns, Zach Smith hanging with the Beast currently. Doing a lot better than I give him credit for, that I thought he would. Of course, still to come tonight, guys, Travis King and Miles Kelly going one-on-one in our co-main event. Looking forward to that. That could be a good matchup. And also up next, guys, an impromptu matchup being added last second to the card is going to be Bryce Canyon making his CMV debut as he battles Troy Myers. Bryce Canyon, of course, recently signed to the Fusion brand. Earlier tonight, Canyon got a little bit of an altercation with Troy Myers, and Canyon challenged Troy to a matchup tonight. He accepted, so a little bit of an exhibition match, if you will, being added to the card. He's got that classic Dave Turner attire, Crizzy. Wait a minute, what the hell? Oh, little bit of fish stick. I don't know if doing that to the horns is so smart. Might have just pierced his nutsack. Big El Jefe fan, though. I just said it's up next, Batman. Scoop slam drops down, notice Bison to reverse. Man, I gotta say again, I am impressed with Zach Smith's showing so far. But it just may be a matter of time, if you will. And now a pop-up German suplex. The power, the strength is incredible. Absolutely phenomenal as Bison. Ooh, nice jawbreaker, though. Gets the hit up under the mask there. Now taking Bison down with some chops. Irish whip, it looks like here. Into the corner goes Bison. Smacked away, though, the Barbarian. Having none of it, and now a second time. That's close to the ropes, though. That's not going to be a rope break. Iron Maiden cinched in. Zach Smith so close to a rope break, but forced to submit. And Bison is back, baby. Oh, Zach Smith was so close to a rope break right there. Millisecond away. And here's what did it. Zach Smith was able to escape the first time, but Bison wasn't letting him go anywhere. Iron Maiden, the old school Bison right here. And Smith forced to submit, but a great showing, I gotta say, from the newcomer. The Beast has returned. Next week, Andrew Briggs steps into the ring with the Monster on the road to challenge Hayden at Sacrifice for the world title. Briggs has had Bison's number twice before. Will he have it again? Or will the Beast continue his tear? All right, guys, before we get to our tertiary main event here, exclude down interview with Schmitty from yesterday. Remember, we haven't seen Schmitty since the very start of the season, where Johnny Sampson returned, of course, and brought Schmitty's reign of tyranny to an end. After he exposed Schmitty in that tape where Schmitty was caught with another woman. And obviously, since then, his life has just gone down the drain. Like I said, we've seen neither high nor head since that. But Sampson, a couple of weeks ago, begged her father, said, please, with the baby on the way, I want Schmitty, even after all he did to us, to be a part of the baby's life. And, I need his support. I need his help. Begged Sampson to give Schmitty his job back. And Sampson said, okay, but don't expect me to take it easy on Schmitty. Like, I'm going to punish him for what he did. And Laura said, fair enough. So then Ted Dickens was dispatched to find Schmitty, and he did. Sampson announcing the big match for Sacrifice next Sunday. Damien locked inside of Hell in a Cell with Schmitty. And although Schmitty is not going to actually be seen until Sacrifice, he did give me a little bit of time yesterday for this exclusive sit-down interview. It wasn't very long, but I'll read you the transcript here. All right. And as we sat down at a local coffee shop I met him at, I had to pay, mind you. But as soon as I sat down, I realized that he was not the same guy. Obviously, this has taken a huge emotional toll on him since his downfall. He really just looked different all around. I wouldn't say depressed, but he wasn't stroking his ego every 3 seconds like he used to. And the first question I asked him was, so the talk was that nobody could find you after the incident at the top of the season. Where were you? And Shitty responded by saying, I had to take time away from everything to think. I was in Manchester. And I said, Manchester? Did you wrestle over there, Phyllis? And what were you up to? I was wondering what the hell was he doing in Manchester? And he said, some wouldn't understand, or some would call me cheesy, but my days were filled with darkness. I was depressed. The entire time I was on Fusion, my whole reign over the show was built on fear. Fear of losing it all. Little did I know that it didn't take losing my title or my job to really face that fear. No, it was Laura walking away. That killed me inside. I was just a lifeless carcass staring out the window, the rainy streets in Manchester. It wasn't until Ted showed up at my doorstep that I knew I had a child on the way. That's why I am back. That's where the fire was extinguished. A small spark had flared. I then said, well, now that you're back on Fusion, it's been announced that you were set to face the most dominant newcomer in recent history, the man who is 16-0, now 16-1 after earlier tonight. Is that threatening enough? It's inside Hell in a Cell. No doubt Samson's way of repaying you for all the hardship you gave him last season. What are your thoughts on all of that? Schmitty responded saying, "It doesn't matter who stands across the ring for me. Things are different now. I conquered fear. Damian is just a man who can be pinned. Hell in a Cell is just another match that can be won. They say he's a dangerous man, but the way I see it, a win here means more money. Money that I need to support my unborn child. I won't let him or her down. That makes me even more dangerous." And of course, that's why I said earlier tonight, that kind of ties into Schmitty's interview, because Damian pinned by Shanaz Andoni earlier tonight. We now know that it's possible. Still 16-1 though. I'm sure Schmitty was glad to see Damian defeated. He now knows for a fact that he can't do it, but still. And then I continued saying, "Okay, fair enough. Now I just have one last question burning on my mind. Last season, you tormented so many careers. Now that you're back on the very same show you did that all on, this time without any power, you claim to not be afraid of anything, but does it not worry you that you'll be sharing a locker room with some of your biggest enemies?" And Schmitty simply said, "Nope," and then got up and left the coffee shop, guys. So it seems like Schmitty has his head on his shoulders. He's back in the game. Like I said, he's not the same guy. He's been changed by the news that Laura is pregnant and has a child on the way. And I don't know if it's confidence or a little bit of his ego, his old ego showing through. But he seems very, very, very ready for Damian, if you will, come sacrifice. But here we go, guys. It is time for our tertiary main event of the evening, an impromptu matchup exhibition, if you will. This was not scheduled to be on the card, but Bryce Canyon earlier tonight, guys, getting into a bit of an altercation with Troy Myers backstage. Canyon threw down a challenge. Troy accepted. And now the Race, as he calls himself, makes his CMV debut. One of the many newcomers to the flagship show. Bryce Hurt. Bryce Hurt. Ooh, I just got a flash from the past right there. No, this ain't no Bryce Hurt. Rip Bryce Hurt. This is Bryce Canyon. And he certainly picked one hell of a guy to start some ish with. And the former Anarchy and United States champion, CMV vet Troy Myers, who we've not seen in a couple of weeks. We haven't seen Myers, I believe, since he lost to Mason Ross last month. Remember, he was supposed to receive that United States title shot against Harvey Hastings, but Harvey pulled the old switcheroo and put his bodyguard in his place instead. A tweet here, guys, from Maseo Yu. Says, back at RJPW, we didn't have stupid, sad stories. Yoshihiro complains about me not showing respect, but why would I show respect to this trash product? The Rising Star champion, of course, who retained his title this past Sunday via countout. Black Gale won, but that champion's advantage, of course, had Hume remain champion. A lot of people have been calling him out, and as it should be. Hume's been disrespecting this company, all of its fans and all of its superstars, the legends that came before him. He literally took the title and stomped on it a couple of weeks ago, and now superstars are coming out of the woodwork. You got Jack Dialop, Ray Furioso recently calling him out. Look at the size difference, guys, here. Right out of the gate, Bryce Canyon is severely the smaller man of these two. Troy Myers gonna have that height advantage and the weight advantage, the power advantage, I'd probably say as well. Bryce Canyon, I've seen him working in the Performance Center, though, these past couple weeks. He is a quick kid. There's a reason he calls himself the Race. Oh, now taking overhead there. Arm drag by, damn, that kick to the leg so thunderous that it actually took Troy off his feet. And speaking of Black, Gale brought him up there. We're talking about Maseo Yoon, guys. Gale actually showed up here on Fusion earlier tonight. He was backstage. Seems like he was still in his attire from Validation. He wasn't even changed. Having one of his breakdowns, he actually ended up cutting himself with a bottle that he squeezed in his hand. He rubbed the blood all over his chest, but we know that Gale suffers with his vices, his addictions, and he didn't know if he was ready. Oh, Orger on a spike right there. Gale didn't seem like he was ready to become Rising Star champion, and that's why he won the match via countout at Validation. Said he would win, but would not get the championship. Once again, talking about this Brandon character. But the blood almost seemed to satiate Gale, if you would, when he rubbed it on himself. Almost seemed to calm him down and bring him back to reality. But showing up on Fusion is definitely an interesting development there. I don't know if Gale plans on sticking around, or if he's going to go back to Genesis. I'm not too sure, but nice drop toe hold right there by Troy Myers. The former Anarchy and United States champion had a pretty great start to the season, but since then it's been a stiff downfall. Troy Myers now bringing the newcomer up to his feet. Like I said, I don't know what Bryce Canyon was thinking starting a fight with Myers. Such a size difference. Smashing in the corner, then a power slam to the center of the ring. Down on one knee, a punch off to the gut there by Canyon. The Race gonna duck Troy right out of the ring. Up next, guys, in our co-main event, Travis King battles Miles Kelly, and what should be a good matchup. Then, of course, our main event to come, Hayden and Jacob Ziegler. Can they work together as they challenge the Anarchists for the Fusion Tag Team titles? What a horrible miss there, but a beautiful standing C-Fire. On the outside, that had to hurt Troy Myers a whole lot, as now he's thrown to the security wall. Count of 3 by referee Murphy. Bryce Canyon would love a successful debut here. This matchup wasn't even scheduled to happen. Count of 4 now. Front headlock punch to the back of the head. Gonna take Troy for a little bit of a walk. Is Bryce trying to get him back into the ring maybe, or throw him right into the apron. Count of 7, and Bryce wants to make sure that this matchup does not end via a count out. Wants a definitive victory here in his debut. Stomping on the gut now, running some laps, making sure that cardio is on point as now he goes up to the top rope, perched high. Ooh, I don't even know what the hell he tried. Was that a corkscrew, moonsault, senton, 360 thingamajig? I'm not even sure. Front headlock though by Myers, going to capitalize for a cravat neck breaker. Hook of the leg, first pinfall attempt to the matchup, I do believe here. Only gets a 1 count for the CMV veteran. Now going to bring Bryce up to his feet. Oh, the headbutt directly to the face. This is the fifth match of the night. Still have 2 matches to come. Travis King and Miles Kelly battling it out, and then the tag team title matchup in our main event. Clapping the temples. Nice reversal there by Troy for whatever Canyon was going for. I said soon. There we go. A nice reversal by Canyon to steal back whatever Myers took from him. Now an Irish whip to the opposite corner. Oh yeah, I said 20 minutes. My bad. And reversal fest ensuing here. Back and forth, tit for tat. What is it, 1999? Lawn dart. Bryce Hurt's face drip. God damn it. I'm going to be saying Bryce Hurt a whole lot. We all know I was a big Bryce Hurt fan, all right? But a TKO by Myers. Bryce Canyon dashing. Hooks the leg, middle of the ring. This might be it for the newcomer. Looks to bury that young talent, but not enough. And Troy looks a bit baffled about that. Is that your dream match now, Crizzy? Bryce Canyon versus Hayden one-on-one? Oh, that was horribly. Countered. Took too much time there. Wow, that first attempt was atrocious. And now out of the corner. What is the rookie looking for here? Mamma mia! butter on toast. Front flip DDT out of the corner. Ah, but a rope break. Holy shit. What a maneuver that was. That's nothing I've ever seen before. Myers saved via a rope break, but busted wide open. Look at him out of comeback. Clothesline right there. Another clothesline. Now ducks the clothesline attempt of Canyon into a power slam. Joe vertical base and a terminating knee strike. Gonna take out the Youngblood, but Bryce not stand out for very long. Go boost the chest, and Canyon hyping himself up. He's feeling good. The energy coursing through his veins. He ain't done just yet. Double axe handle. Double axe handle again. Choi is bleeding pretty bad. Nice roll through, though, and a kick to the side of the head. Myers looking for refuge in the corner. Bryce hurt, hyped up as hell. Gonna close in. Ooh, shoulder. Thrust right to the midsection. Oh, and a super kick. Watch out, Murphy. Another super kick. And a third time. He comes off the ropes to the jaw. That thing's nearly got to be unhinged right now. Bryce Canyon looking to finish things off. Goes for a kick to the midsection, but a trip up by Myers. Not going to have any of it. Now going for a... What the hell is this? Troy Myers. Oh my God. Holy shit, the hold of the legs of the... Wait a minute. Ooh! Into a dragon sleeper, guys. The body should not bend that way. Good God. Somehow, Canyon able to escape. Jeez. That's enough to kill a man right there. Nice DDT by Myers, though. Canyon maybe going for another trio of those super kicks. Instead of terminating knee. Once again, gonna ricochet right off his skull. And I think Bryce might, yep, Bryce is busted open too, guys. Donning that proverbial crimson mask as Myers looks to finish it. Nearly does, but not quite. Now Myers, he missed it twice before. If he gets this off, it's night night, Sweet Prince. Oh, heel hook once again reversed. And now Myers gonna be in big time trouble. Trying to keep his head above the water. A counter a third time. Holy shit. Bryce has got that maneuver well scouted. Myers might have to think of something else to try to knock off the Youngblood right here. I don't even know how Canyon's seeing right now with the blood all in his eyes. His face just completely drenched. Oh, but what's this? Canyon. The race has Myers in big trouble. Vertebreaker. What a devastating maneuver. And that just might be enough. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and Bryce Canyon victorious in his debut. Didn't come without one hell of an effort. Wasn't no walk in the park. Look at that face. That's the face of a warrior donning the scars of what was a war. But look at this. Offering a handshake, and Myers welcomes the race to Fusion, showing some respect. Hell of a match and a great win for Canyon. All right, here we go, guys. Our co-main event of the evening. Travis King set to battle Miles Kelly King. the newest acquisition to Click. Of course, I recapped earlier in the night what went down behind, I should say between, not behind, between Josh Wolf and Travis King as Wolf made his return and said he's coming to Monday Night Fusion in his 2-month suspension from Genesis, of course. Not just going to sit around with his thumb up his ass. Instead, going to try to cure Fusion as it is rotten to its core, and going to try to stop Click from spreading. Click is everywhere in CMV today, guys. It's on Genesis, of course. Unmatched ferocity, and now Fusion, despite Wolf's attempts to make sure that didn't happen. He was jumped by Slayton Borton. A checkmate at the hands of this man, of course, who finally got one up over Divine when his team was victorious at Validation. Just another battle beginning in the war that's raging, tearing apart CMV. The Click on the Resistance. The former world champion. From the smoke! That's Josh Wolf with a kendo stick! From behind, catching King, and a guy now right across the back. And again, while he's down, King to his feet, trying to recuperate, takes the stick and gives Josh a taste of his own medicine out across the back. Josh sees it coming. Josh Wolf's here. He's on Fusion. But it looks like his attack might backfire. Travis King recuperating from those kendo stick shots. Josh Wolf not letting him run away. Ooh, kicks out the shin. And these two battling on that LED stage. That is just pure glass that they're on top of right now. Wolf trying to get some payback for what happened at Validation. Travis King fighting back, though. Both these men taking some hard shots with the kendo stick. Look at this. Travis is like, you want me, fam? You got to come get me. The former two-time Rising Star champion does just that with a stiff forearm smash right to the jaw. Wolf bringing King up to his feet. Gets a short arm clothesline. And King, once again, is the man standing. Wolf attempting to get the jump on Travis King. I just got word that the match has been called off. We will not get Travis King to get one up over King. But the perfect specimen is the one left standing tall as Wolf is down. Security now pouring out onto the stage to separate these two. Wolf foaming at the mouth. These two just want to tear each other apart. But once again, King gets the edge over the vessel of Fenrir. As it is main event time on Monday Night Fusion number 110. An interesting matchup about to make its way to our screens as Hayden, the world champion, and Jacob Ziegler, Mr. Money in the Bank, are forced to team together to battle the Anarchists. And as voted by the CMV Universe via a poll last week, the title on the line. Of course, this matchup coming our way after Jacob Ziegler for weeks was demanding that general manager Johnny Sampson give him Hayden one-on-one, even after Bison announced to return and face Hayden. Ziegler said, I don't care. Give me Hayden on Fusion. Give me him in a dark match. I don't care. I just want to get my hands on him. And Sampson finally snapped. He said, I'm tired of getting bullied around. First Schmitty, then you, Hayden. I'm sick of it. You want Hayden? All right, I'll give you Hayden. I'll put you in a ring with him, but as partners. Just Sampson's way of trying to get under Ziegler's skin. Sampson's had it just about up to there, up to the boiling point with people trying to stuff him around and bully him and pick on him and act like they're the bigger Hayden too by, giving him Bison, saying, Hayden, you're just a cog in the gear, man. You can be replaced. You're just a man. I run this show. So he's trying to get at both of them right now by making them team together. And of course, we know that Hayden has said time and time again that he doesn't care about any championship other than the world title. He calls the tag team championship a shared championship. It's not even a whole title. But Hayden has said himself just recently, too, he said, I'm here for the money. I'm here to put people down. I'm here to cash my checks. And 2 championships is going to give him a bigger check each week. So you know that Hayden's going to come out here to fight. And of course, Ziggler, we know it's been a super... Oh. Did the game just freeze? Oh, okay, there we go. The sound just cut out. There's no sound. Hello? No, there we go. All right, here we go, guys. The crowd just died for a moment. There he is, the man who is still the CMV undisputed champion. Hayden Blade Kitely making his way to the ring. But as I was saying, this hasn't been the most fantastic season for the 2-time Anarchy champion, the Scotsman. He's taken a lot of losses. He started to begin a little bit of a comeback, defeating Willis Moon and then Azrael. But of course, he suffered a loss to Azrael in their rematch, the Validation pre-show. So Mr. Money in the Bank at this point is desperate. He would love to get his hands on championship gold, even if he has to share it with this man. Hayden, I think, proved a lot of people, a lot of doubters wrong at Validation, including me. I'll admit, I was pulling for Bison. I was on that Bison hype train, but Hayden shut it down with the quickness. And then after the match, even put an exclamation point on it by attacking Bison with a steel chair. You know that Bison's not going to forget that, but right now, Bison has got his own problems to worry about. So does Hayden, because he's got Andrew Briggs coming his way next Sunday at Sacrifice. First time ever those two will go one-on-one. And Johnny Sampson said it himself earlier tonight. We should not underestimate Andrew Briggs because he might shock us. He shocked us in winning King of the Ring. Next week, Andrew Briggs goes one-on-one with Bison. If he defeats Bison, which he has done before, I don't know how anybody's going to be able to doubt him. And Hayden's a smart guy. He knows better than to underestimate anybody. He might be brash, he might be cocky, he might put on a show, but he knows deep down. Now, he knew that Bison was dangerous. He knows that Andrew Briggs was dangerous. Of course, if Hayden and Jacob Ziegler are victorious here, guys, Hayden's going to have to pull double duty at Sacrifice because it's already been announced, as I said earlier tonight, that the ATL will challenge the winners of this matchup at Sacrifice next Sunday. So if Kitely and Ziegler win here, Hayden gonna have to pull that double duty. Gonna have to defend the belts against ATL and then defend his title against Andrew Briggs. Jacob Ziegler, the Scotsman, if you ask me, dangerous as ever, as he becomes more and more desperate. Turned his back on his own best friend, brutally assaulted Shane Scott. We haven't seen him since. Now being put in this situation by general manager Johnny Sampson, keeping his Money in the Bank briefcase. That same briefcase he can use to cash in on Hayden anytime, anywhere for a world title match. Keeping it safe backstage as he looks to add another title to his resume. And a tweet from Ryan Kent says, having this useless title doesn't stop me from going after the big one. Expect me soon, Hayden. Hashtag 2-time champ. Now, last time Ryan Kent held the light heavyweight title, we know he wasn't exactly thrilled with it. He issued that open challenge where he defended it every week, ended up setting the record for most title defenses as a champion at 9. Maybe he'll do that again, guys. But I can announce, I even forgot to announce this earlier tonight, that Ryan Kent will be defending the title at Sacrifice next Sunday, guys, against Matt Devious. General manager Johnny Sampson shooting me a little message earlier tonight. So the antagonist, guys, Matt Devious, after being victorious on Team King, receiving a championship opportunity at Ryan Kent for the gold. That should be an interesting matchup, to say the least. Devious and Kent, but right now, guys, here come the new CMV Fusion Tag Team Champions. Yeah, I don't know why the audio just cut out, but it's going to be like that for the match, too. That's going to be annoying. The crowd's going to be completely dead. Last week, Crow and Caleb Reed defeated Dance Party to win the Fusion Tag Team titles. And they said that they're going to plunge the Fusion Tag Team division into anarchy. They're going to check off every single tag team on the roster. Come after them. They said, we ain't going to be the ones with targets on our back. Everybody else is. Saying that it starts tonight with Hayden and Jacob Ziegler, as there's what's on the line. The CMV Fusion Tag Team titles, of course, a championship that Hayden once held before alongside Quantum. The current unmatched world champion, Hayden and Quantum. What was that? Season 3. They held the tag team titles together. Look at how they look at each other. Look at Ziegler out of the corner of his eye. Like, you best check yourself, muffa. These two do not want to be here. Ziegler ready to go, as Hayden's like, nah. Means more money. That's all he cares about. That cash, that dollar. As there stand the champions. Crow on the left, a CMV veteran. And of course, Caleb Reed on the right, the Anarchists, guys. Our new Fusion Tag Team Champions. Will their reign be cut short? Will they have one of the quickest tag team title reigns in CMV history? We are about to find out. Got to give credit where credit is due for Crow and Caleb Reed. They're not backing down here, and this is a serious challenge. They've got two of the greatest Fusion superstars of all time on the opposite side of the ring. 4-time world champion in Hayden, who's going to be starting things off. Looks like Caleb Reed for the Anarchists. As Murphy rings that bell, and here we go. The tag team titles are on the line. Will the quote-unquote stars of the A-Show win some gold together? Manage to coexist long enough to do so? Or will the Anarchists be able to use the advantage they have, the cohesive unit, the brotherhood they share, in order to thwart their opposition, as Hayden is just going to pounce on top of Caleb Reed, now a stomp to the lower back in a seated position. And remember, this match is coming our way via a poll on the website. Asked the CM Universe who they would like to see Hayden and Jacob Ziegler face in their tag team match together. That could have been a non-title match. Blood and Stone were an option, so were Bannon and Billy, but the fans wanted to see them challenge the Anarchists. So Caleb Reed and Crow, they have the fans to blame for putting them in this situation, as Crow is tagged in and immediately gets chopped down with a clothesline at the hands of the A-lister. Kicks to the midsection, then a DDT to follow through. Ziegler's a 2-time Anarchy champion and current Mr. Money in the Bank, all right? He's beaten some of the best of them. All right, he defended CMV's honor and beat the invading Conor McGregor at Ascendance 4. All up to the top rope. Crow maybe already looking at things, gonna end things early? Maybe a crow's nest? No, that's what he utilized to win the tag team titles last week. That swanton bomb, but a missile draw kick nearly dislocates both of Hayden's shoulders. Jeez. Sending him into another dimension right there. What up, Hellish? Just in time. Chop block by Kitely. As now the CMV Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion. If he wins here tonight, he'd be the first ever two-time champion. Because, of course, Hayden was the first ever double champion in CMV history. Ooh, Crow taking out Ziegler and Hayden at the same time. It was way back when at the first annual CMV Royal Rumble that Hayden won the Intercontinental title while he was the Undisputed Champion, or while he was the World Champion, rather, created the Undisputed title that he holds today. If he wins here, he'll be the 6th man in history to hold 2 titles at once, and obviously, like I said, the first ever two-time champion. We saw Chris Andrews this past Sunday become the 5th ever double champion in CMV history by winning the Anarchy title from Alistair Knox while he holds the International gold, as Hayden just got Crow's boot shoved down his gullet. Are the Anarchists going to pull off a huge upset here to retain their tag team titles, with the ATL surely watching on? Caleb Reed and Crow with a super kick, knee strike combination. Gonna take Hayden out. This would be a huge win for the Anarchists in the first defense. Ziggler chopped down to size by Crow, but only a 2 count. Mr. Money in the Bank taken out momentarily, meaning that Hayden is in a handicap situation. The Anarchists have got to use this opening and try to finish off the world champion. Hayden Irish Ripper to the corner. Caleb perhaps looking for his catapult snap suplex. But Hayden able to reverse. Snake Eyes. Oh, Hollywood hold. Hollywood hold. But that's going to be a rope break. Wow, Caleb put his foot right on that bottom rope. Good call by referee Murphy to see that. Look at this. Fist raining down straight to the face of Hayden. Has just been refusing to tag in Ziggler, even though he should at this point with all the damage he's taken. Ziggler's asking for the tag. Is he finally going to do it? Yes, he is. Here comes Mr. Money in the Bank, Jacob Ziggler. A dangerous Jacob Ziggler, but still, like, it ain't no thing but a chicken wing up in the corner. And Hayden's like, come on, man. Win the goddamn match. Stop fooling around. Vertical base now. I can assure you that Hayden and Ziggler most definitely didn't sit down and come up with a game plan here, whereas the Anarchists, I'm sure they ran through the plays. They're ready. They were prepared. That's what gives them the advantage in this matchup, if you ask me. But Crow walking right into a spine buster at the hands of Ziggler. Grabbing him by that long hair of his, now shot overhead with a fireman's carry. Gonna help Ziggler up to his feet. What does Crow have in mind here? Nothing pretty, I assure you. Snap suplex, stalled at the last moment into a Northern Lights suplex. What a beautiful reversal by the Scotsman. Excuse me. Oh, and here comes that ruthless, aggressive side that's been peeking out lately from Ziggler. Just pouncing on Crow, unloading with these shots. Looks like Crow is managing to protect himself from most of those punches, but a few definitely got through. And now a dragon scooter by Crow, trying to get the Anarchists back into control here. The Fusion Tag Team titles are on the line. If the Anarchists lose, they'd have one of the most shortest tag team title reigns in CMV history. Not the shortest. There have definitely been a lot shorter. A couple of clotheslines now, grabbing Ziggler's boot and tripping him up. The Anarchists just getting started. Oh, now just like Hayden, Ziggler getting a boot directly to the face. With that rocket kick, Crow going to shoot for the pin here, hoping, praying that it'll be enough to retain the goal, but just the 2 count. Goes for a kick to the back. Ziggler able to move out of the way, though. Gets caught with a punch right to the throat. Jeez, doesn't get much more straightforward than that. Punching your opponent in the throat. Good God. Struggling to hold himself up there. Oh, wait a minute! Caleb Reed gonna be no help. He's out on the apron. Crow making it to the ropes. Hollywood hold cinched in by Ziggler. Will Crow tap? He's trying to get to the ropes. He's trying to grab the ref's shirt. And Crow survives. Wow. The pressure was on right there. The damage is done, though. Now into the corner. Looks for a tag to Hayden. Crow's having none of it. Tag back to his corner. Looks to bring in Caleb. After nearly being defeated there, life flashing before his eyes, Crow realizes he's got to kick it into overdrive. Drop to holding Caleb with an elbow drop right to the ass. Lateral press now. Crow playing defense, going to make sure Hayden doesn't make the save, but Hayden does at the count of 2. Undisputed champion now taking care of Crow. As Caleb has his arm raised. Maybe looking to mount a comeback, assuring that the Anarchists keep the driver's seat. Jacob Ziggler back body drop, bounces right back up to his feet though. Walking right into a spine buster. I gotta say, the Anarchists are holding their own. Dare I say, they've been dominating. Well, not dominating, but they've definitely been in control for more than Hayden and Ziggler have. Oh, now look at this. That's what I was talking about earlier, that little slingshot suplex. Caleb now not stopping. Winding elbow drop right to the chest. Nicely done, nicely done. Look at this. Mr. Money in the Bank in big trouble. Crow on the apron. It's up to Caleb here to seize the win. Spear! Will Ziggler be able to kick out on his own, or can Hayden make the save, or will the Anarchists retain the Fusion Tag Team titles? Hayden stopped from making the save. No, breaks through just in time. Whew, that was a close call. 2.99999. And Hayden and Crow just keep missing each other. Crow caught with a backbreaker, neckbreaker combination. Vintage Hayden right there. Caleb Reed trying to stay in control, but during all the confusion, all the fuss, Ziggler able to trip him up. Now Ziggler, big old punch to the face. And Ziggler with the botch flex shins of his girlfriend Quinn. He actually defeated Azrael last week with that maneuver. But it's not enough. Calling for the end. Ziggler out of the corner. Claymore. Claymore by Ziggler. New champions. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Ooh. Mamma mia, that close call. I gotta say, I'm impressed with Caleb to manage to kick out right there. Ziggler, though, looking to keep control up to the top rope. Not a frequent flyer. Misses the missile dropkick big time. That's going to allow Caleb to make the tag to Crow. This tag team title match is lit, as the kids would say these days, man. Back and forth, both teams with some close calls, but Ziggler's got to make the tag to Hayden right now. Can the Anarchists defy the odds and retain their tag team titles against stiff competition? In comes Caleb. Only getting a couple of seconds to rest. Another drop to hold elbow drop combination. Well, look at this. Hot tag to Hayden. Caleb took his eye off the ball. Now he's going to pay for it. Here comes the world champion. Here comes the A-lister. Hayden riding high with a trio of clotheslines to chop Caleb down to size. Now the code breaker, vintage Hayden. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Man, Caleb Reed seriously impressing me here tonight with what he's managed to kick out of. And now, with Ziggler down, Wasteland. Ooh, don't see that too often in a senton. Hooks the leg. Will this be enough? Can Caleb Reed pin the world champion, retain the gold? Just a 2 count. Stiff kick to the back. That just awoke Hayden. Gets to his feet, and Hayden with the Hollywood hold. The Hollywood hold is locked in, and Caleb Reed taps. Caleb Reed taps. We have new Fusion Tag Team Champions, Hayden and Ziggler. Holy shit. They actually did it. New Fusion Tag Team Champions. Hayden and Ziggler coexist long enough to win the gold. Holy shit. What a match. The Anarchists, they were in control for the better part. Back and forth though. So many close calls, and Hayden makes history, becoming the first ever two-time champion, and Ziggler captures his first title in nearly a year and a half, nearly 2 years. They're champions, but can they coexist as champions? Wow. Well, now it's set, guys. Next Sunday, at Sacrifice, Hayden gonna have to pull double duty because it'll be the ATL challenging Ziggler and Hayden for the tag team titles, while Hayden in the main event has to defend his world title against Andrew Briggs. But look at that. New Fusion Tag Team Champions. No high fives. They don't even look at each other. What a way to end Fusion. Hayden and Ziggler, the new tag team champions. Yes, we'll do a winner match. Just one. But indeed. Whew. Whoo-wee. Cray. What a fusion, man. that was an insane fusion. First, Damian loses his streak, goes to 16-1. Harvey Hastings beats Paul Devine. The ATL lose their streak, but by count out. They still haven't been pinned or submitted. Goddamn, Josh Will attacking Travis King. Whew, and new Fusion Tag Team Champions. Hayden and Ziegler coexist long enough to capture the titles, but now that they are champions, will they be able to keep them come Sacrifice next Sunday with a defend against the ATL? All right, let's see. We got... we'll do one-on-one match. Excuse me. Hey, Shanaz is a formidable foe. I always do exclamation point join when I mean winner. Hey, oh God. All you have to do is say, I never win winner, and then winner always chooses you. Oh. No, we won't do that. Oh. Ogon versus Batman. CMV Arena. Oh boy, Crizzy with the... Oh, you want a four-way, Crizzy? That's vintage Crizzy right there asking for a four-way. Alright, so we got Travis King as Batman's pick. Say oh, Alright, so we need two more. Alright, Topher, go ahead. Give us a winner. Hey, Big Toph. Oh, damn. Topher choosing real quick. Why do I keep winning? I guess it just doesn't like black guys, Crizzy. Come on, Winterbond. Killing me. Hey, wait, no, yep, dynamic. There you go. Big die. Oh, throw Kent in that ish, huh? Big Kent boy. He changed it. Baby. For those about to rock, yes, I am what you want. Baby, you know that you are Judas, and I am your priest. About to rock. What a fatal four-way. Travis King, Masao Yu, Ashriel, Ryan Kent. Man, Masao Yu getting thrown in there with the best of them. 2 former world champions. Former international and tag team champion. Here we go. Referee rings that bell. We get it on. Travis King immediately taking Ashriel to the outside of the ring. Wow, this is so loud. Now the crowd's lively. And this arena is more dangerous than anything else. Oh, there's vintage Topher. Got that hard wood out there these superstars can be slammed on. Jet ski and wind noises. Alright, Hellish. Look. Get some words of wisdom here. Watch your back. But more importantly, when you get out of the shower, dry your back. It's a cold world out there, Hellish. Come on. Just listen to the words of Fupa Lord, DJ Khaled, alright? And then you'll be okay. Look at, there's the perfect quote right there for you, Hellish. The key is to weather the storm, right? It's going to be rain some days. That's how life is. It is what it is, all right? Oh, Kent with a cheeky single knee face breaker. That a big old Hume. I got you, Crizzy. I don't know if this is how you do it. I don't know how to add a command. Now, let me see. Add com, I think. Is it add com? I don't know if that actually did it. I don't think so. I have no idea how to add commands. Gumball does. Gumball, add that command. If you're still here. Oh, there you go. Hard hitting fatal forward here is Ryan Kent. Of course, Ashriel have some history just earlier this season. It was at Requiem that Ashriel defeated Ryan Kent at Tables, Ladders, and Chairs match as Travis King kind enough to give Hume a tour of the islands. Here, Kizzy, I got you. Oh, wait a minute. Hume with the elevator to Travis King. This would be a huge victory for Hume to pin a former world champion. Ah, not enough. There you go. Oh, of course, Gumball deletes Kizzy right away. Oh, as King now shoots back at you with a checkmate. Oh, there's Ashriel flying into the ring out of nowhere. I think it's Borton. Or Milk. It's Milk. Travis King, the only man standing among a heap of bodies here. Wow, Gumball. No, I got it. Hang on. There you go. There you go. Easy access now, Chrissy. Oh, look at this. Azrael hitting the consequence, but at the same time, Ryan Kent with the Kent clash to King. Firestarter goes to the pin. 1, 2. Oh, just a 2 count. King eating those fins. Stays kicking out. Oh, we already got that for right here. Oh, someone must have deleted that. Rip. Used to say Sane wins, LOL. Oh no, you know what it is? It's insane. There it is. Oh man, knee to the kidneys, and then a big old power slam by Hume as King and Kent continue their clash on the outside. There are a lot of commands I don't remember. Travis King throwing Kent back into the ring now, lining him up. Up over the shoulder. A little bit of a checkmate coming to the light heavyweight champion. As Hume looks to kick the shit out of Azrael. That final one right to the back of the head. Hooks the leg of Kent there, but Hume breaks it up rather quickly. I think Topper's one of my favorite ones. Hume looking for another elevator here to Azrael this time. Travis King busy with Kent. 1, 2, 3, and Hume with the big win. The CMV Rising Star Champion picking up that W. Knocking off 2 former world champions, the currently heavyweight champion and Azrael. Marcel Hume gets himself that W heading into his next title defense, which will be next week sometime. Probably on Reality Wrestling. Who against? We don't know just yet. 'Tis a mystery as we speak. Hang on one second. To put steel in his dog. I don't think you should do that to your dog. It feels like it wouldn't be comfortable. Why are you deleting that command? Why'd you just add it right back? Hang on, I got something. There you go, Krizzy. All these commands for you. All right, guys. As always, thank you for watching. If you're new to the show and you are not following me as of yet, make sure you do so. You know, when I go live next time, of course, we'll be on Thursday for Reality Wrestling, then Friday for Genesis. This Sunday, I do believe, is Infiltration, which is Cop's side pay-per-view. I think it is, along with the Royal Rumble. So make sure you follow him if he's still in chat. Next Sunday will be Sacrifice, same day as the Super Bowl. But if you would like your call on the show, all you got to do is check out our website, !join. We'll give you a link, cmvwrestling.com. Just got to check that out. Register. It takes about 2 minutes, and then bam, you're in. !CMV, let you know more about us. Official CMV _ We'll let you, that's our Twitter to follow, all that good stuff. Twitter stuff, you know. Pregnant and calling, what have you. But see you guys on Thursday. Actually, I just realized I'm going out. So Sacrifice will actually probably be on Saturday. No, it'll be on Sunday. I can do it on Sunday. Oh, I'm just thinking to myself, end stream. All right, thanks, guys. I'll see you later.